Are you tired of all your gear weighing too much? So am I. For that reason, I've upgraded some of my gear here for 2023. I've got all ultralight pieces now because if you don't know, I'm a venture filmmaker. My name's David and I carry a bunch of camera gear. I'm gonna be carrying even more camera gear this year, which means I had to reduce weight here as well as put on a bit more muscle and strength in the gym. Just to kind of balance everything out. So this is the Dan Durston one-person tent. It's a trekking pole tent. I got this secondhand. It was about 200 bucks, I think. It's a pretty darn good deal. This is the first version if you're familiar with the Dan Durston tents. He's a very well-known thru hiker who developed this tent. It's fantastic. He's a nice guy too. I asked him a question about this because I bought this from a guy who smoked a lot of weed and that tent stunk really bad and I'm allergic to that smell. So I just sprayed it with vinegar and it got rid of the smell. And Dan did actually get back to me and said, I don't know if that'll work or not, if it'll remove the waterproof coating. So we'll find out if it's still waterproof, but I've yet to use this tent, so I'm just giving an overview of what I'm getting here. I'll do full comprehensive reviews of all this stuff once I properly use it. So that's the tent for this year. It's super light, and that's what I needed. Basically about half the weight of my last tent. So next off, let's go on to my backpack. That's the main piece of gear that's, takes up a lot of weight and it's carrying all my stuff. And for this year, I've got my ability to run back, so I needed something I can run with. So my last backpack was this one. It's just a 55 liter. This is a 3F UL backpack. It's Dyneema and all that, so it's nice and super light, but it's 2.6 pounds, something like that. But it's just, I can't run with this. It doesn't sit well. Basically, to run with a backpack, you need to have a harness on the straps, which means two straps, one that holds higher, one that holds lower. So when you jump, it's not sliding with just one sternum strap, it slides up and down. So you need to basically kind of lock that down around your pecs. So for that reason, I've switched to this one. This is a 40 liter, so I'm getting smaller gear that's more ultralight, packing it into a smaller bag. This is 1.5 pounds, so it's a full pound less than my other backpack. Now, sure, it is 10 liters less space, but then all this gear I have is a lot smaller, so I don't need that extra space. So it's got the double sternum strap here, and this is all adjustable. It's got these pockets up here, which are fantastic. Look at that, fits a bear spray. I can actually fit my camera lens in here. So the camera this is filming on right now with my big lens can just go right in there. I don't need the Peak Design clip or whatever anymore. I was using a Chinese knockoff clip because I'm really frugal, but I can just stick the lens in here and carry my camera that way. I can also put extra lenses in here, so there's a whole bunch of pockets, and I'll do a full comprehensive review of this once I've used it more. It's just such a great bag. It filled all the needs. It's got this nice waterproof pouch here. It's got another pocket on the side for your keys. Like, it's just got everything that I'm like, okay, let's just do this. And full disclosure, this company doesn't even know who I am. I've never talked to them. I've just bought this with my own money. I bought everything here with my own money. I don't have any companies sponsoring me or anything. The only piece of gear that I've gotten for free, basically anywhere here, is this, which I got from Seadon. They sent this to me. There was no contract, there's no obligation. This is a wind jacket. I love this thing. I've already done a review of this. I won't go over it that much, but it's a great wind jacket. It cuts the wind perfectly. I was up near Mount Adder with this thing in the winter. I didn't even need to put a puff on. So this is super ultralight. This weighs nothing and it just cuts the wind. So I'm a big fan of this thing. So that's those two pieces of gear. I recently upgraded to this, which is the Fizan. I think these claim to be the most ultralight aluminum poles on Earth. They've basically, I've never even seen ones like this. There's just, different tubes, but there's no like pieces in between. And you just twist them and pull them out and then just twist them back. And they just lock into place. And that's it. They weigh nothing. They absolutely weigh nothing. I was using those Trekology poles before that, and those were great. They're cheap. I think they're 45, 50 bucks for the two poles. Both of these poles weighs less than one of those Trekology poles. Those Trekology poles weren't super heavy by any means, but these are just really, really light. As stated right on here, 158 grams per pole. The reviews so far of these are really good, so that's only thing I'll note about them, but I just like how light they are because I need to cut weight with all my camera gear. This is a quilt from Big Agnes. King Canyon UL uses Primaloft, which is like this fancy synthetic, super warm insulation. So this stays warm, it's not down, when it gets wet, it doesn't give you any insulation, you just stay cold. This is a quilt, so no sleeping bag, no zipper. As you can see here, we've got just buckles. Now this is good for someone up to 6 feet. I'm just a hair under 6 feet, like maybe half an inch, like a third of an inch or something. So should be fine for me. This is just for sleeping in the woods. So I'll be doing fast packing. I'm gonna pack all this gear, which is much smaller, into this bag and then running deep into the backcountry, filming stuff people have never seen before, or very few people have ever been there, places no one has ever filmed before, which is probably like 70% of stuff on my channel is already stuff that has never been filmed before. But this obviously is not this big. It comes with this bag, so what you do is you put it in this bag and just let it, the insulation not get compressed, and let it hang when you're just kind of have it in your gear room. And then when you go out into the woods, you put it into this little bag, so it'll compress down into this. So you can see it's like the size of like a water bottle. Pretty excited for this. This is a summer bag. This is good down to 7 degrees Celsius or 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a summer bag. Now you can like double bag this with, say, another sleeping bag like this. This is just some like very basic bag I got from China that I could put this one around it. Or you can, you know, really load it up with something like this. This is a mummy bag from MEC. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't used that bag since my cat peed on it. I dosed it in vinegar, and I can't decide now, does it smell like vinegar or cat piss, but that's good down to minus 20, I believe, minus 12. So if you combine that with a bag like this, then you can get lower temperatures. The other thing you can do is use a sleeping bag liner, which I have somewhere around here, but I absolutely hate those things. They get all bunched up and just drives me nuts. But those will add a little bit of warmth as well as keep you a little bit cleaner. But for the most part, I'm just gonna be sleeping with this and then just sleep with my clothes on and good to go if it's a cold night in like up in the Alpine in the summer. So it should be fine, because most of the time in the Alpine, you're not getting below 7 degrees. So, and if need be, just throw on all your extra gear and, you know, jackets and stuff, and you'll be fine. And one other feature about this sleeping bag, it comes with these buckles, so it's a quilt. So it's not a sleeping bag, it's a quilt. It just has snaps to keep it around you. But it has these extra snaps on the sides. So you can see this snaps together, this is extra. And they give you these 3M tape with like the buckle, and then you're supposed to glue these down on your sleeping pad. And then this can attach to your sleeping pad so it doesn't slide off. For me, I probably won't use this. This is some extra weight too. So, I mean, if I were to use this, I'd probably just use 2 of these. They have probably like, I don't know, 8 of them in there. I'm gonna keep things super light. I don't slide around off my sleeping pad. It's more of just my pillow. So, and the pillow, I just use that Trekology one with the rubber band that keeps it on the pad. So really it's not a problem for me. And finally, the last piece of gear, which I got back here. This is the Salomon Adv Skin 12. It's a trail running bag. It's only 12 liters. It's got tons of pockets, so you can really just cram the stuff in here because it's all like mesh. So anything that's like a shorter day, like day hike, maybe if it's something that's like much further than like a normal day hike, something I actually have to trail run, say we're going 40 kilometers, you know, 20 out, 20 back, that kind of thing, and I need to do it real fast and light, then I'll be using this. I used this on a few hikes last year during my road trip series, and it was great, but it just kind of matter what gear do I need. This is 40 liters, this is 12, so if I can fit all my stuff in 12, it's fine. I can cram my drone in here. In this, it has one big zipper pouch here, which is great, and then it has all these other, it's kind of weird, they have different layers of pouches, but there's no zippers up here. You can use this buckle to kind of close them up. There's 2 layers here, so the first one goes right to your back, and then there's another one, and so there's kind of like 2 layers in here, and I still have food in here. So yeah, this is a fantastic bag. You can just cram stuff in here. I can stick my InReach and my phone and small pocket cameras and all that kind of stuff. It's just this one doesn't work well with my big camera that's filming this right now. So for that reason, if it's something that's a lot of scrambling, really technical, really dangerous, and I'd only just be going pocket cameras versus big boy camera, then that's where this kind of comes out. So hopefully this gives you guys a good insight of my new ultralight gear and maybe something for you guys to think about for this 2023 season. And I'll leave links to all this stuff down below, and I'll be doing comprehensive reviews of all this stuff once I properly use them. I don't review stuff fresh out of the box. So if you want to check out some of my adventure hiking content, I did road trip across America and still uploading those videos, as well as I filmed so many mountains on Vancouver Island here that have never been filmed before, as well as a lot of them hardly anyone has ever been to. So if that kind of content interests you, be sure to subscribe. And until next one, have a great day.